This podcast is a quest for well-being, a quest for a meaningful life through the exploration of fundamental truth. Enlightening ideas, insights on physical, mental, and spiritual health. The inspiration is love. The aspiration is to awaken new ways of thinking that can lead us to a new way of being well. Welcome to Body, Mind, and Soul Healing Conversations.
We all have the power to create change in our lives and in the lives of those around us. A kind word, some self-compassion, and an open heart all lead to positive change. When we go through hardship and pain, they are experiences training us to become stronger. The setbacks we endure strengthen our character and pave the way for our future purpose. Valeria Teles interviews Verna Haywood, the founder of health and wellness business La Via and speaker. Verna Haywood fled an abusive relationship in Trinidad with just 100 pounds and a suitcase and came to the UK in 1997, determined to be the voice for women in similar situations who have yet to find their own strength. She is the founder of health and wellness business La Via, which means life, where she empowers and inspires women. At La Via, Verna uses the 7 pillars of health and wellness to rebalance, restore, and renew women to enable them to live a life of wholeness. Verna's method combines a holistic approach to reestablish harmony between body, mind, and soul. It draws on the principles she learned growing up on the island of Grenada in the Caribbean, using nature and seasonal produce to feed, sustain, and medicate to ensure a healthy, balanced life. Verna is the original Spice Girl from the island of Spice. She now lives in Dorset, on the south coast of England with her husband, and is the author of the upcoming book, Unstoppable: How to Live an Empowered Life. Meet Verna at laviarefresh.co.uk. Here is the interview with Verna Haywood.
In your own words, who is Verna Haywood?
Verna Haywood is originally, I was born in Grenada, so I call myself the original Spice Girl because we produce lots of spice. I am a wife, a daughter, a sister. I am a holistic therapist and coach. In my younger days, I went through sexual abuse, physical abuse, up to my adulthood. And when I got married, I went through domestic abuse. And I had to walk away from it all. I felt I had enough of that. And I was not about to stay in a marriage where I could end up dying. So material things was meaningless to me at that point. So I walked away with 100 pounds in a suitcase from Trinidad and came to England and start my life all over again from scratch.
What does it take to take that step, Verna? Is that courage or is a sense of survival? I mean, it's almost like connected, but it has to do with the heart, doesn't it?
Yes, it has to do with the heart. Because, I mean, for me, I think from very young, when I was told by my grandmother I wasn't one of them, I couldn't understand at 5 years old why I wasn't one of them. And in her view, I was not her son's daughter. In other words, that's what she was trying to say to me. I was a black sheep of the family. So I couldn't understand that. And that went on, and then the abuse started. And I had to learn, I guess it's because I went to Sunday school from very young, and I took the word literally. If he said, Jesus loves you, this I know. I took that literally, that I was loved. And it didn't matter if nobody else loved me, but Jesus loved me. I then had to learn forgiveness because from very young I decided I was not going to have any hate or anything like that because it disfigures you. I'm not sure why I felt that way from very young, but I embraced that. And one of the other things that I embraced is that if my mother and father forsake me, the Lord will take me up. So those things helped me in my quest as to not hold on to anything. So my heart had to be pure. My heart is where I live because it said, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. And if I'm going to speak from my heart, I can't let anything of hate or dislike or anything like that be in my heart because then that's what's going to come out of my mouth. So words matters and words are powerful. So words can make you or break you.
What is wellness to you? And is that the same as well-being? Do you connect those two words?
Yeah, wellness and well-being is almost the same. Well-being is when we talk about well-being, you have to be in your being, is in your inner being. That's how I look at it. You have to be well in every area, every stage of your being. Wellness is looking at the inside as well as the outside, but everything starts from the inside. That is working physically, spiritually, emotionally, socially, environmentally, and financially. So you're looking at every aspect. So you in order for you to be well, every area of your life, that wellness, you need to be composed. You need to be be surrounded by good people. You need to be taking in what you're listening to, what you're reading, what you're watching. All of that impact your wellness. And they can either have a positive or a negative effect, depend on which way you decide to take it.
That resonates. And that's what you meant when you used the word multidimensional, connected to wellness.
Yeah.
So it's connected to everything.
Everything is interconnected because we cannot have one without the other. We have to have everything. Everything works together. He said everything works together for good to them that love the Lord. Everything works together. You can't leave the spiritual and the physical out. They all work together. You have to bring them together. It's like what do we call a melting pot, where if you're cooking something and you do not put the seasoning in it or you do not put the love into your cooking, the food don't taste as nice. Or if you sit down to eat and you have the people you're eating with, the conversation is not so good and you can't really enjoy the food. So you really have to have everything working together to give you that good conversation, that enjoyment, that every bite you take, it tastes sumptuous. It's you want more of it. So that's the whole essence of it. You need them all.
Is that the idea also of balance? Would you say when right, Verna?
Yeah, you have to have balance because without balance, you become unstable. So you're unstable in what you're doing. So you have to bring everything into balance. If you drink too much alcohol, you become an alcoholic. But if you were to drink and now and again, you have a glass of wine or whatever your favorite drink is, you're not going to be doing that every single day. Maybe occasionally. Like I will have a glass of wine occasionally. I'm not a drinker, but I may go out and somebody invite me out, and I will have something occasionally, and that's it. But you're not going to be going crazy over drinking. So you must have some balance. You must have some sense of knowing that this is my breaking point. I will not go any further. And some people just don't know when to stop.
it sounds like it's coming from wisdom, isn't it? That when we reach the point of balance, that means we are coming from a space of wisdom. We know
Yes.
what to choose and how to do it.
Because without wisdom, we are just like a car without a brake.
Yeah, true.
You won't drive the car without a brake. So wisdom
Dangerous.
teaches us. Wisdom teaches us. And I think when we have wisdom, we gain understanding. And that then help us to be able to speak, because then we become knowledgeable. So you can see how they all work hand in hand. It's like faith without works is dead. So you have faith, hope, and love, but the greatest thing is love. So wisdom plays an important role in helping us to stay balanced.
When I think about wisdom, I think the wisdom of life, of the natural world, and even the spiritual world, or life itself, or what we call the divine, and letting that flow through us and just do what it wants to do. It feels like we are making a choice, but it seems to me like there's no one making choices, but that energy force, that divine force, just doing what it does when balance and wisdom are present. It really seems to me, Verna, that that's what is happening.
It is, because we call it different things. We say energy, we say Holy Spirit, however it relates to us. Some people will say the universe, I say God or Jesus Christ. It's what works for us. There is no wrong ways. It's how we relate to something. And to me, the Holy Spirit is, I always ask Holy Spirit to be with me, to guide me. He lives in me. He breathes in me. So the breath of life, when I wake up in the morning, I thank him for another day. I've been given the gift of life to be of service to someone, to help someone. So when we recognize that and we are grateful and we have that gratitude that our life does not belong to us, it belongs to someone else. We are here to serve. And whatever we go through in life, at the point of going through it, why me? Why me? Why me? Why did this happen to me? Well, why not? It's because it had to happen to you so that you could help someone else who is maybe not as strong as you are, but you could help to strengthen them, and that's the whole thing behind it, in my view.
What is healing to you, and do you connect healing to spirituality?
Definitely. I know for me, if I did not believe or if I did not have faith, I may not be speaking to you right now. I may not have known all the people that I've come to know and have a good circle of friends. So for healing to take place, it has to take place from the inside. And like we have in this conversation now, if I bring up something and I talk about something, it means that I am healing as I'm speaking to you because I'm able to talk about it freely. Before I decided to speak, because I've always wanted to do motivational speaking or inspirational speaking, and because of what I've went through, I didn't tell anyone. I mean, yes, I told adults, but they didn't believe me. So from that moment on, I kept everything to myself and I prayed about it. Now, if I didn't have that faith and that knowing of to help to heal myself through the word, then that would not have happened. But then in 2002, I decided to tell my big brother. And when I told him, he said, "Why didn't you say something before?" I said, "Well, I've spoken to other adults in the family, and they said, 'Shut up, don't say anything. they almost didn't believe that it happened. And when I decided that I wanted to speak, I said, I don't want to hurt my big sister. And he said, no, you're not going to be hurting anybody. So I said, no, I need to let her know that I need to speak. Because if I'm going to speak, I need to be authentic. I need to speak from my heart, because that's where the healing is going to come from. And so I'm in England and they are in Curacao. So we had a 3-way conversation. And when I told her, she was even more upset that I didn't say anything. But then she said, you have my permission. You're not going to hurt anyone. You need to talk about it. You need to help people. You need to tell people about it. And you need to be authentic. And I felt a release. I felt I had permission, to just be me and to help as many women as possible. So the healing comes from speaking. You have to talk about it. And by talking about it, not only are you healing, you are healing someone else as well.
Yes. Yes, and it's highly spiritual. I think I said that off record. We talked about spirituality, healing, and authenticity, how they are connected. So true. Thank you, Verna, for the work you do, for being you. So you wrote the book, or you're writing a book titled Unstoppable, How to Live an Empowered Life. Talk to me about the intention of writing your book.
The intention of writing the book is to show women or anyone, male or female, that it doesn't matter what you go through, you can live an empowered life. Because especially for women, when we go through abuse, we feel that it is our fault. We blame ourselves. We feel that we are nothing, that we don't deserve anything. We are worthless. And I wanted to write the book so it work alongside my program, which is Unstoppable Resilience, 3 powerful practices to take your power back. And those 3 powerful practices is what I have been practicing both in my holistic therapies and in my life. It's about reflect, revitalize, and renew. We have to reflect. Sometimes we don't want to go there, but we have to. For example, on Saturday, my cousin in the States was writing about his mom enjoying having a good time with her friends in Florida. And she is one of 5, and 4 of her siblings passed away. Now, I felt hurt by that. And the reason I felt hurt is because this month is 38 years since I last seen my mom. She disappeared. And last month was 38 years since I last spoke to her. So I had to find myself within me and see what was happening. So all of that, it brings out these things. So the book is all to bring out the stuff that has happened, but to show that in everything that has happened, there is something good. So we may not see it at the time that anything good can come from it, but there is lots of good to come from it that would help someone else to heal, that would help someone else not to make the mistake of taking their life, because their life is meaning. Their life have meaning. Your life is not meaningless. You have something in you that will help someone else. So it is selfish for you to think that you can't impact anyone. You do not have to have millions. I didn't have millions when I walked away. As I said, I walked away with 100 pounds in a suitcase. And I wanted people to know that I did that. And I went to another country to start my life all over. I went back to college. I studied holistic therapy. I did travel and tourism. I then worked on cruise line. for 4 years. I then went back to university and did my degree in international spa management, all without having millions. So when we tend to make excuses, I'm not saying what happened to you should not have happened because it's somebody with a sick mind that has done what it did, but is for you to forgive. You have to do that forgiveness, and the book is going to be talking about that. It's about forgiving yourself, because why I say forgive yourself, because you're taking on that blame that is you are the reason, because they have put it in your head that is you is the reason why they did what they did to you. Absolutely not. They did it themselves. It's them. You had nothing to do with it, so you have nothing to be afraid of. So first of all, forgive yourself and don't see yourself as a victim. You are a victor. You are victorious. You are a victor. So you have got to see yourself that way, and you have to use affirmations to speak good words, speak good things over yourself. Cover yourself with those words. Embrace them. It's like you're putting on clothes. Every day you wake up, you shower, you brush your teeth, you cream your skin, and you put on clothes. So these things, your affirmation, your visualization, and your meditation is like putting on clothes. Right. You're clothing yourself. And this is what I am trying to get across to the readers when they read it.
I love these concepts, these practices that are holistic. And it's the work of self-love, isn't it, Verna?
Yes, it is. You have to love yourself.
Yeah, that's a place. And I wonder why it's so challenging for most of us to do that, especially women, it seems to me.
I think it's because our grandparents, they looked after everybody else and they didn't look after themselves. And women were taught to put themselves last. But you have got to put yourself first, because if you don't put yourself first, who is going to look after you when you're looking after the entire family? So if you are not in a good place, how is it's almost as though you are the foundation. A house without a solid foundation can't stand. And that's why women have got to think about themselves. It's not selfish, it's self-love, it's being compassionate, it's having empathy for yourself, it's empathizing. So it's not selfish to do that.
You are a founder of health and wellness business called La Vie. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, La Vie. La Vie means life.
Yeah, life. That's beautiful. You have so many services. I went on your website, so many offerings. So talk to me for a moment about the MOT that has to do with the body's the needs for the body, and also the 7 pillars of health.
Yeah. So this the MOT is basically where you would take your car to the garage, because your car have got to be roadworthy every year. Take your car to the garage and they will check the brakes, they will check your gas tank, they will check your oil and everything else. And then they will, if something is wrong, then it wouldn't pass the MOT because it needs to be fixed. It's not roadworthy. We spend money on our cars, we spend money on our homes. We want the best seat in the house, the biggest television, all these different things. But when it comes to us, oh no, I can't do that. I can't spend that money on me. Why not? So this is where you need to, once a month, you should be having a massage or a facial to relax you, to move the energy around your body, to move the toxins, because you have the systems of the body. You have your endocrine system, your circulatory system, your nervous system, your blood flowing through the heart, all your organs and everything else. So you have about 7 different systems in your body. Who is looking after that? You're using it every single day. You're on your feet every single day. 365 days of the year. You're eating every single day. When was the last time you cleanse your body out? Season come, season go. You eat, 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 eat. You're not thinking about your gut area. You need to cleanse the gut out because your gut is like your second brain. That helps your body to function. Your kidney, your livers, your lungs, all of that need to repair. So you need to take yourself in for a full MOT. You go to the doctor, you get a medical checkup. Sometimes women don't go for their cervical cancer check and things like that. So you have to look after your body. Wellness is about looking after every single thing. So you need to take your body in for an MOT. You need to do a 7-day cleanse, or you need to do like fasting, intermediate fasting. All of these things would help your body to function efficiently and effectively. If you don't do that, then when sickness comes, you don't matter how much medication you take, it's not going to work. And you always have to think medication has binding, coating, and fillers. So they're not 100% natural. When I was growing up, my grandmother, everything was in the garden. So if we had a stomach cramp, if we had a headache, if we had whatever we had, that medicine was in the garden. It was not Tylenol. It was not aspirin. It was not paracetamol. Go to the garden. That medicine is in the garden. And she will send us, we will pick it, we will bring it back, and she will make whatever it is for us to drink. Whether we had a cold or a fever, whatever it is, it was in the garden. Whether it was nutmeg and clove or whatever she had to mix together. If I had a bruise, it was in the garden. Whether it was aloes or whatever, it was in the garden. Yeah. In terms of when we talk about the 7 pillars of health, we spoke about the multidimensional before. The 7 pillars of health is your emotion, your physical, your spiritual, your social. Who is around you? What are you listening to? Because the more negative you listen to, is the more negative you become. If you, my grandmother had this saying, she used to say, Verna, iron sharpened iron. And I used to think, what is this woman talking about? Iron sharpened iron. And then she took a knife and then she had like a file and she filed it. So you had to take an iron, something with iron to sharpen the knife. So iron sharpened iron. So you want to be around people who would sharpen you. You want to be around people who would uplift you to a higher heights. You don't want to be around people who's going to pull you down. And sometimes you may have a thought, what you want, you have something, a goal you want to achieve. You don't go tell it to everyone because not everyone have the same dream as you. Not everyone want to see you excel. So sometimes you have to keep it to yourself, and when it comes to, then you talk about it, because some people can kill your dreams. So when we're talking about your the 7 pillars of health, you want to look at your emotion, you want to look at your physical, which means you need to exercise your mind as well as your body. You're building muscles, you're building that resilience. For example, if I didn't build resilience from a young age, I wouldn't be here speaking to you right now. You wouldn't be hearing my story. My story would have died with me. But because I have built those resilient muscles, because I have listened to my body, because I have built up my emotional awareness, which we mentioned a short time ago, because I look at the environment in where I put myself. Environment is not just, the oxygen and thing we breathe, but it's the people you're around, because that's oxygen as well. You could be breathing in good oxygen or bad oxygen. So you need to look what your home like, what the circulation in your home like. Do you have some live plants in your home where you can breathe properly, that they can clean the air in your home? So you have to look at every single thing. Spiritual awareness. Do you pray? My praying and your praying might be different, and what do we mean by prayer when I say that? Prayer is like speaking. So right now, you and I are speaking. And prayer is like you're talking to the person. So when I pray, I speak to God as though he's normal. So I would say, Father, you said in your word that I should bring you in remembrance. If you think about it, if you, as a mother or a father, your son or your daughter come, Mommy, I want this ball, or Mommy, I want this computer, and you say, yes, darling, you can have it, but not right now. Mommy will get it to you next month. Could you please remind me? And this is what he's saying to us. Remind me. Remind me. So bring it into remembrance. So I speak to him as I'm speaking to you. And I remind him, this is what you said. You said you would never leave me nor forsake me. You said that my bread basket would never go empty. And that's what you do. You speak it, it's like you're having a conversation. And you have that conversation. Most people think we have to, I don't know, maybe stand and shout and do all these things so we could move God. That's not how we do it. You just speak it out, but you're sending it out there and it comes to fruition. But you have got to believe that what you're speaking, you believe that you would have it. And if you believe that you would have it, then you will have it. So it's about bringing all those things together. And that's how you're talking about your 7 pillars of health.
I love how you bring always all these components of life, of what is to be a human being. So it's not just one thing, but everything working together. So true, Verna. We're almost at the end, but I would love for you to talk to me for a moment about the seasons or seasonal eating. Yeah, why is that important?
It's very important because every season brings us different food. And as one season ends, you get another set of seasonal foods. And every season, yes, you have minerals, yes, you have vitamins, and you have enzymes. So our body need enzymes. The enzymes, you have a good enzyme and a bad enzyme, and they both work together to keep us healthy. And my grandmother used to say to me, Verna, when anything is in season, eat seasonal foods. Don't eat anything out of season. Again, I couldn't understand what she meant by that because they never explained you in detail what they meant. You just had to eat whatever they said you should eat, and when time to cleanse your body ready for the next season. Now, the supermarket will bring things from all over the world and tell us we have to eat that. But that's not your season in your country. So your country is different. The seasons in your country is different to the seasons in another man's country. That might be what they eat in there. But because of the change in the weather system, you might be going from winter to autumn, or from winter to spring, however the season changes. Every season has something in it for our body. And by eating seasonal, what we're doing is strengthening our body from the inside. When we eat seasonal, our body is storing those minerals as we come to the next season. So everything is for our good, is to help our body to fight any bacteria, to fight the diseases. Now, if we have been through, or we're going through this sickness at the moment, some people may suffer more than others, and that's because of what they chose to eat. Sometimes if you go to the supermarket and you look at people's shopping basket, you see more sweet stuff. You see more drinks, more biscuit, more pizza, more this, more that. You wouldn't see the greens. You wouldn't see the tomatoes. You wouldn't see the broccoli or the cabbage or things like that. And they should be eating more of that because of the nutrients that it brings to their body. Every organ in your system your body is 98% water. You get your fruit, and if you get water from your food, but not only do you get that, you get the minerals, your vitamin C, your vitamin A, your vitamin K, your B, your C, all of that come from the fruits and the vegetables that you eat. That's why we have different colors. because all the colors have to bring different minerals and vitamins to your body.
So it is being in alignment with nature, isn't it? Oh, I love that. That idea that we can do that. And that can easily be seen too, because when we go to the supermarket, we can see that what is more in abundance, whatever it is. That's how I see, like, oh, this is the season for that, for strawberries or blueberries, because I see more of them, a lot more. So we're almost at the end, Verna. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your love, and everything else in between. Thank you. So
Thank you.
before I ask you my final questions, would you like to add anything else that we didn't discuss?
Yeah, as I said, I've just written my program, an online course that I'm going to be putting out, which is called Unstoppable Resilience. 3 powerful practices to take your power back, which is, as I said, reflect, revitalize, and renew. And we'll talk about detoxification as well, detoxifying the body as well as the mind, because you don't put clean things into an old vessel. You don't put, you have to wash that plate or that cup before you put food into it because it's dirty. You're not going to put anything into. So we're going to talk about detoxifying the body as well as the mind. So I will be launching that soon. I'll be launching my mini virtual retreat where you can come and hear more about it and you can learn more about it and we can have a one-to-one and discuss where you are, see where you want to go, and we can work with that because I think it's important for us to get help. No man is an island. We cannot do things on our own. If you have 10 fingers and every finger is of a different length and they all have a function. So if you could have done everything in one with one, then they would not be the way they are. And you would not have 2 hands and 2 feet because you have to do one need the other. You have to put one in front and then the other one follows. So I'm here to help if I resonate with you and you think I can help you, or you would like to find out more and you just want to have a chat with me, then I'm here for you. I'm here to serve. I want to serve you. I want to help you to reach the heights that you are meant to be the person. You just looking a bit deeper within yourself and finding your true calling. And that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah, thank you so much for being there and for being you, being there, being here for us and being you. 2 more questions for you, Verna. How do you define true power these days?
True power. I find true power is using your affirmation and tapping into. I tend to, my affirmation is that, Verna, you are strong and you are courageous. You can do all things through Christ who gave you strength. And I kind of like, I pull my hand down like powerful, that kind of power stance. So I pull my hand down and I do that. So, girl, you are beautiful. You are so lovely. You are awesome. You have everything within you. So that's create that. It gives you that energy. And yeah, you create your own power. You have to speak it. Speak it into being and visualize yourself, whatever it is you want, whatever you meaning to achieve, just visualize you have that power within you. It's in you. Because he says God, Jesus is in God, God is in him, and he's in us. So before anybody have to tell me that I'm blaspheming, I'm not. We are gods. We are not the Godhead, but we are gods because he has given us the power to speak it forth. So it's only when we speak it forth, it comes into fruition. If we're waiting for somebody to speak, it doesn't matter how much somebody speak on us, that is not necessarily going to happen because they may not be speaking what we want. So you have got to speak what you desire, what you want to see happen. And as you speak it forth and as you believe it, that power comes from within.
And my last question is, what is another word for life?
Another word for life. Renew, refresh, rebirth, transform. So you're transforming yourself. If you think about it, oh gosh, a caterpillar.
Yeah, that's true. Constantly
If you
changing,
think,
right?
yeah, the caterpillar, it changes. We go through different stages, doesn't it? And then it turns into a butterfly. So that's a new life. Come from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Is that transformation, that new life, that new revival, you know, that revival taking place within you. And you have that. You have it all on the inside. It's just aligning yourself with the right people around you. Yeah.
Because
New
we are
life,
life,
rebirth.
right, right.
Yeah.
That is so true. And if we are life, then everything it's available. Those options, right? They are here to
Yeah.
renew, to transform. Ah, so true. Thank you so much again, Verna, for your presence, your wisdom. It's a delight to listen to you and everything that you
Thank
have
you.
to offer. Thank you. Before we say goodbye, where can we find more information about you, your books, courses, products, services, and future projects?
You can look me up on Instagram. Is Verna_Harry on Instagram. I have a YouTube channel as well. You can look at me at La Vie Refresh on Instagram as well. I'm on LinkedIn at Verna La Vie Spa. And I have my Facebook page, which is La Vie Health and Wellness. So there are many places. But also, if you think you would like to speak with me, you can either message me on Messenger or you can phone me. My phone number is +44 7828 181254. But probably it's best to message me so I know what it is you want to speak to me about, and then we can have a conversation.
Thank you so much again, Verna, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, thank you.
Bye for now. Thank you.
Bye for now.
Thank you for listening. To learn more about Verna Haywood and her work, please visit laviarefresh.co.uk.
To learn more about this podcast, please visit fitforjoy.org/podcast. Thank you again for listening, and bye for now.